Good morning or semi-afternoon. How is everybody? I'm a little bit early today because we have a tournament this weekend, so we are headed out for that at like 2 or like 3:15. Plus, I wanted to make sure. Hey, Danielle Marie, we watched some of this live trial that's actually live this afternoon. It looks like they are coming back here about just trying to get the time 1:15 or so. But I wanted to watch a little bit of yesterday's too because we didn't get a chance to yesterday. Um, 1 second, sorry guys. If my fan gives too much feedback, please tell me. I'm gonna have to start setting up in the kitchen a little bit so that there's better sound. But for today, this is what we're gonna do. So today, this morning, there was a little bit of an issue in the trial between the defense and the prosecution. I'm not really sure what happened, but we didn't miss too much this morning. It was more of along the lines of just a few police officers talking about it. Obviously, it was important, but what we're going to listen to now is yesterday the subway manager spoke, as well as the brother of one of the victims that was shot. So we're going to watch those two testimonies here before they go back live. Um, so 1 second here. I think that in a like next week and early next week or sometime this weekend, if I get home, we might look at the. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the Sarah Boone case, but I just heard about it last night. I mean, I heard about the actual case, but just started looking into it yesterday, and it's really wild. So it would be a good live to just talk that through. All right. So this right here is the. Hey Mo is the manager of Subway at the time. So he came encountered Nicholas Cruz about, I mean, right after the shooting.
And sir, if you would please scoot in and speak into the microphone, and please state your full name and then spell your last name for the record.
It's Carlos Rugeles, Rugeles.
And what is your occupation, Mr. Regales?
It's a manager at a Subway.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
About 10 years ago.
And which Subway store are you working at now?
Now it's one in Dania Beach.
In Dania Beach?
Yeah.
I'd like to call your attention to February the 14th, Wednesday, February the 14th, 2018. Do you remember that day?
Yes.
And how were you employed on that day?
How was what? Sorry.
How were you employed on that day? Where were you working on that day?
It was at the Walmart. It was at the Subway inside the Walmart.
Okay, and where is that located?
In Coral Springs.
Okay, and where in Coral Springs? It's inside of Walmart, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and where's the Walmart?
Mo, this is the penalty phase.
I don't remember the address.
All right, do you
This
know where
is
Marjorie
two testimonies from
Stoneman Douglas
yesterday.
High School is?
They're on
Yes.
lunch right
Okay,
now,
in reference to
so
Marjorie Stoneman
this is
Douglas
to
High School,
basically
where
determine
would
whether
the
he's going to
Walmart
get the
be?
death penalty or life in prison.
There's Stoneman Douglas,
Live
the
coverage will
Dutchess
begin at
Elementary School,
1:15
and then there's a
again.
Walmart.
Okay, you talking about West Glades Middle School?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, and then there's the Walmart?
Yes.
What big street is near Walmart?
So Coral Ridge.
Coral Ridge Drive?
Yes.
Any other streets?
Is it Homburg?
Hamburg?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's around Hamburg and Coral Ridge Drive, right?
Yes.
Okay. And up to this point, how long, to Wednesday, February the 14th, 2018?
Hey,
how long
unpopular
have you worked at
opinion, missed you. Hey, Jeep
Subway?
girl.
Would
This is
be
yesterday's, the Subway
6
manager
or 7 years.
and
Okay.
the brother
And
of a girl that
did
was
they
shot.
have a surveillance system? Did they have a surveillance
We're just
system?
going over these
Yes.
two
When you were
testimonies
working there
because
on
there is
Wednesday,
surveillance
February the
footage.
14th,
And then the
2018?
live stream
Yes.
should be
how did
back
the
on
system
by 1:15.
It would record the cameras by motion, I believe.
Okay. And did you operate the system?
Yeah.
All right. you were familiar with the system?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay. There come a time where you viewed what happened on the afternoon of February 14, 2018.
Yes.
Okay. And have you reviewed that video?
Yes.
And does that video truly and accurately depict you and someone that you served at that subway inside Walmart?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you State's Exhibit Mark 5W for identification. And ask you, sir, can you identify that?
Yep.
And you can have your initials on it?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. And you view this,
Mhm.
and it's true and accurate depiction of you and the person you served
Yes, sir.
on Wednesday, February the 14th, 2018?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I'd like to publish, first I'd like to introduce State's Exhibit 5W.
The defense, other than your previously stated objections, do you have any additional objections?
No, just renew that objection based on 401 Hitchcock versus State.
Okay, thank you, that's noted. Over the defense objection states 5W for identification will be received as states 88. Mr. Sachs, is this going to be published to the
Yeah,
whole
this can be
courtroom?
published to the whole court.
But should we, do we need to move that partition or not?
Yeah, partition has.
Although,
The large screen will be on anyway.
okay, so everybody will be able to see it.
Do you see you?
Yes.
Which one's you
The one in the green shirt and hat.
in that? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna watch next is the brother. Look at him. He comes in after shooting up a school and is just chilling out at Subway.
Do you remember what you were serving? him?
Morning essay.
He wanted an icy mixed. It was a cherry and a blue raspberry.
This is insane. Oh man, I don't know, unpopular opinion. Honestly, I would like to see him get the death penalty, but to be quite honest, um, even if he gets that, he's going to spend years appealing it anyways. So I don't know. Part of me feels like either way, he's going to just spend most of his life in jail. But then again, death penalty seems kind of an easy way out. Hey, Emily, I just can't imagine what it's like for those families to sit there and watch him order food or whatever it is, slushy or whatever the.
What were you just giving him then?
His change.
Receipt?
Yeah.
Hey, Tara with Trisha.
Okay. I'm gonna show you now State's Exhibit Mark 6L and ask you if you can identify that.
Yes, this is the title receipt.
Okay, and is this a blow-up of that? I'm showing you State's Exhibit 5X, and is that an accurate blow-up of that receipt?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I have no further questions of Mr. Ruggiero.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Oh, man.
All right, thank you, sir, you're excused.
I know, Jeep Girl. Now, this next one I want to watch is the brother John. His sister did live, but she was shot.
Jose de la Cruz.
At this point, so the kid they bring up now is the brother of a girl that was shot. She did survive. However, this kid that's coming up, he did not know who the shooter was, but the shooter knew who he was. So he knew he shot his sister.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, wait,
Please raise your
not
right
this
hand.
guy.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is
Yes,
Okay. And have you reviewed that flash drive?
when I did it back then, yes.
Yeah, and
Here we go. The girl right there is who was shot.
Good morning, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Thank you, sir. You can go ahead and be seated. Please speak into the microphone, state your full name, and then spell your last name for the record.
John Wilford, Wilford.
Good morning, Mr. Wilford.
Warren.
Do you go to school?
I do.
Where do you go to school?
I'm a first year at FAU.
FAU?
Yes.
I'd like to call your attention, Mr. Wilford, to Wednesday, February the 14th, 2018. Do you remember that date?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And were you attending school at that time?
Yes.
What school were you attending?
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas,
And what year were you in?
9th grade.
Did you have any siblings that were attending Marjorie Stoneman Douglas at that time?
Yes.
Who?
My sister, Maddie.
Madeline Wilford?
Madeline Wilford, yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Pamela, we're just
And
watching
she was
a little
attending
bit
Marjorie Stoneman
of
Douglas High School also, right?
yesterday's
Yes.
testimony
Okay. So on that day,
before the live starts
tell us
again.
what happened.
Hey,
I
Sandy.
was in my study hall class, I believe it was 4th period, sitting down, and then I remember the fire alarm going off, and we evacuated towards the west side of campus, towards the baseball fields.
Okay. And when you went there, what you were responding because of fire drill?
Correct. We were just following standard procedure, so.
Okay. So what is the standard procedure? You go out into the area?
Right, we go out to the area, we line up, they take attendance, so I didn't think much of it.
Okay. So what happened then?
I remember it wasn't long, it was like a minute or two when they took attendance, and then a police car came and told us to evacuate.
Okay. How did you evacuate?
They took us off this road towards West Glades, which took us off this dirt road, and everybody was just walking
Okay.
over there.
So you walked down, would you describe the path you took when the police told you to evacuate?
It was just along the baseball fields, along like towards the side of West Glades. Most of everybody was kind of panicked and didn't know what was going on.
Okay. So when you got to West Glades, where did you go from there?
From West Glades, I then walked to Walmart with one of my friends, Alan.
So you got out to Hamburg Road and
Correct, yeah.
then turned west to Walmart?
And from West Glades, I took this path towards Walmart.
Okay. So what happened when you got to Walmart?
When I got to Walmart, I was trying to get a hold of my sister. She wasn't picking up, so I tried to get a hold of my mother, and that's when I then left my friend to go meet my mother at McDonald's. That's just the point I told us to meet at.
And did you go to McDonald's?
I did.
And that was at the McDonald's on Coral Ridge Drive?
Yes.
And describe what happened. How did you get there?
I just walked from Walmart, like underneath the sawgrass towards McDonald's, and I told my mother I was waiting inside.
Okay. And so your mom was gonna, what was she gonna do?
She was gonna come drive and pick me up.
So did you get McDonald's?
Yes, I got inside.
Okay, what happens when you go to McDonald's?
I sat down in a booth. I called her, I told her where I was, and she told me that she was on her way.
Okay. Then what happened?
And then Nick Cruz came and sat down right next to me.
All right. Did you know who he was?
No,
Ever meet him before?
never.
Just sat down.
Just sat down next to me. I didn't think much of it because I was panicked. So I was just trying to get back home.
So what happened when he sat down?
He just sat down. I didn't think much of it. You know, I figured he was from school because of what he was wearing, but
What was he wearing?
ROTC uniform.
Okay. So what happened then?
I know, Pamela.
From then, I wasn't really, I saw him sit down, so I just was telling him, like, this is so chaotic. This is crazy. All these helicopters and SWAT cars coming. Like, what do you think this could be? And I don't remember him saying much, but he was just head down, wasn't really talking to me. I don't remember much of the conversation, but I was doing most of the talking.
Okay. Did he ask you anything?
No, not until I started to leave when my mother called me and told me that she was there.
Okay. What did he ask you?
He asked me for a ride When I was like starting to leave the McDonald's to be my mother on the other side, that's when he started talking to me.
Okay, and what did you say?
He asked me for a ride. He was pretty insistent on it, and I said no. I just, no, I wasn't really thinking much of it. I mean, I was just trying to get home. My sister wasn't answering her phone. I was nervous. I was panicked. I also had a bad gut feeling about it, because I'm a nice person. I would offer somebody a ride like that, but just wasn't thinking in the moment.
Okay, and then what happened?
Then I got in the car with my mother, and I started to drive home.
Okay,
And then I remember seeing him again on, I don't know exactly what road it was, but I saw him walking.
okay.
But then that was pretty much it.
And when your mom picked you up and drove you off, where'd you and your mom go?
Back home.
I know.
Yeah, I know, but where's your home?
Hey,
Wyndham
thanks,
Lakes.
Brandy.
Wyndham
Wait
Lakes
till you
area,
see the
yeah.
video of this. It's crazy.
Have you seen a video from McDonald's with you?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd like to publish State's Exhibit
89,
89.
defense?
So we should same objection pursuant to Rule 401 Hitchcock versus State, please.
Okay, so noted.
Tell me when you see you.
I see me.
Where are you?
I'm just sitting in the booth.
Okay.
I know, Sandy. Do you see this? This is freaking nuts. He tormented that boy. Not that I've heard of, Pamela. Then he follows the kid out because he's insistent he give him a ride.
Is that you walking in?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Jeep girl, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean, he has to be. They haven't fully said yet, but that is insane, Jeep girl. Oh, I am so sorry. I hope your daughters are okay. Oh my gosh, Jeep girl. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. That isn't, I can't even believe that. Like that is unheard of, Jeep girl. I thought you meant it was the same shooting, not that it was two different ones. Oh my gosh.
John, how tall were you back then?
Probably like 6'1", 6'2", maybe.
6'1"?
I don't recall. I don't remember, but
Okay. I want to show you State's Exhibit marked 6C for identification, Ms. Wilford, and ask you if you can identify that.
yes, again.
Okay. Does it accurately and truly depict where McDonald's was and where the school was and where Wyndham Lakes is?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, this time I'd like to offer 6C.
No objection.
Okay, without objection, State's Exhibit 6C for identification will be received as States 9090.
Put this on here. Let's see. All right, does that, let me see if I can do better than I did before. Okay, I want to point out, there's a thing that's going to come up where you can pick a color and show us where McDonald's is.
It's,
Right. And how about Marjorie Stoneman Douglas? Okay. And let's see if I get this. Wyndham Lakes.
it's this area.
Okay, and that's where you live?
Yeah.
Okay. On this map that's been introduced, can you, I know you didn't know the road that you saw him on again? But
I didn't know the exact road, but
do you know what area you saw him on this? Can you tell?
I'm pretty sure we might have like crossed through here, and then while we were driving through, then that's when I like saw him walking on the sidewalk, but it was like for a small fraction of time, so I didn't really pay attention to it.
But that's the area where you drew that arrow in the green line. That's the area you were going to go to your home, right?
Right, that I remember, yes.
Okay. If you saw that person that sat next to you in McDonald's, would you be able to identify him if you saw him again?
Yes.
You see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Would you point him out for us?
Yeah.
The person in the blue sweater?
Yep.
Madam Reporter, with court's permission, would you like the record reflect that Mr. Wilford?
Man, how many of you got a vibe right there that he was about ready to jump over
At this time, I
and
have
beat the
no
crap
further
out of
questions
him?
of Mr. Wilford.
Defense, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You're excused.
Thank you.
Officer Michael Leonard.
Okay, that was a good portion. So it says they're, let's see, it says they're due to resume here in, let's see, 12 minutes. So let's see if there's anything this morning we've missed. So I'm interested in your thoughts in chat. If you guys think, do you have an opinion of will he get the death penalty, or do you think that he will get life in prison? Let's see what their argument was this morning, because I only caught some of it. So hold on one second. There was a little, I know, Sandy, there was a little argument here this morning, and I want to see what it was. Life without parole. Yeah, SA. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but hold on a second. I want to see what they argued. Not really argued, but there was a debate a little bit this morning between. Come on. All right, let's go back and see here. That's not. Okay. Trying to get past where they. There we go. This was this morning. Hey, Amber. Hey, Delaney. I know, Delaney.
Okay, court is in session. The lawyers are present. The defendant is present. Are both sides ready to bring the jury in?
True, Amber.
Just two real quick matters.
Sure.
Oh, see, now they're going to fight.
I'd like you, if you would please reconsider, giving us another.
We did, I think. Didn't we get the state another headset?
And I'm not just speaking for me, I'm speaking for the defense.
And,
Go ahead.
and we'll give the defense another one too. Is it okay if I give them yours and then? Limit the number, there's only 8 that can go on one.
I know,
system.
tattoos.
And when we put the two systems together, that's what creates the feedback, so.
I mean, I appreciate it, because we need to, and I'm sure the defense.
I'm giving both sides 3. If
That'd
we're
be-
gonna
that's
go with
okay.
that and.
That'd be okay. And the other matter, I have 3 short witnesses. We have a short recess after the 3 short witnesses, so we get our evidence, so.
Sure. Your Honor, may I approach this document has been approved between the defense and the state? Sure. If the court is in agreement with it, we can send it to the JA and we can use it for,
Thank you for doing that. How'd you do that so quick? Great job. This is exactly what I had envisioned. I think this is gonna be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Want to
I'll
send it to your JA?
send it to my JA to,
So did you have it to distribute when it's necessary?
sure. In other words, I'll keep it and then we'll distribute it when the time comes. All right. Is there anything else before we bring the jurors in?
Briefly, I just wanted to put something on the record very
Okay.
briefly.
Sure.
Judge, we are renewing and our objection and asking going forward that the court prohibit further in-court identifications of Mr. Cruz. There have been numerous ones at this point. He has pled guilty, so identification is not an issue. Pursuant to Hitchcock versus State, to be admissible in the penalty phase, the state's direct evidence must relate to any of the aggravating circumstances. Evidence necessary to familiarize the jury with the underlying facts of the case may also be introduced during the penalty phase. Identification does not go toward proving any aggravating factor, and it is also not necessary to familiarize the jury with the underlying facts of the case. The reason why the state is permitted, especially in a case like a resentencing or a case where the sentencing jury didn't try the case, is because they may not be in possession of certain facts necessary to determine whether the state has proven the aggravating factors beyond a reasonable doubt. The jury in this case is familiar with the identity of the perpetrator. You have told them numerous times, and we have told them numerous times. Therefore, any evidence that results from an in-court identification is not relevant and then inadmissible pursuant to 9402. It's especially important in the penalty phase of a capital case that the court deny the admission of irrelevant evidence so that death sentences are not imposed arbitrarily and capriciously. In other words, if irrelevant evidence is constantly or consistently admitted in the penalty phase of a capital trial, we can't determine whether the resulting verdict of death was arrived at or not arrived at on an impermissible basis.
Okay. Sure.
A defense strategy and they wanted to use the word very often throughout the case that the defendant has pled guilty. It's apparent that the defense wants to use that as a mitigating circumstance that he's pled guilty. The state has the right to put the case in its context, and how much evidence there was is a relevant consideration, especially when the defense finds it to be a mitigation that he pled guilty to the charges. There's so much evidence that perhaps that wasn't a big thing in terms of the weight of a mitigation. Nevertheless, the state is entitled to present its case in terms of for the jury to know the context of how much evidence was there in this case. The state has to prove the aggravators beyond a reasonable doubt, the weight of each of the aggravators, each of the convictions which become an aggravator under the first aggravating factor of previous conviction. And, the state may have one witness today who may identify the defendant. I think there's only one today that I'm aware of. I believe everyone else is a police officer today.
So just so I understand your argument, your position is that even though the fact that the defendant is the person who committed these crimes has been proven, that you are entitled to put on evidence that the witnesses can identify him as the person who committed the crime?
And did identify him. And Your Honor, we're asking a jury to put a person to death. They need to be very certain that this is the person who committed the crime. We're certainly not putting all the evidence we have of every person who has identified them. But when
Sandy,
people-
they caught him walking outside of
John Wilford,
McDonald's
who
because
sees
the
him
kid
in
wouldn't give him
McDonald's
a
identifies
ride.
the person
His
I
mom
was
wouldn't give him a
talking to
ride.
as him, the
So the
defendant,
defense
that
is
seems to
arguing
be
that.
relevant testimony of who he's
Are you kidding me right now?
having a conversation with. I don't see any prejudice to the defense.
Well, that was gonna be my next question. If he's admitted that he's committed these crimes and you all are essentially stipulating that he is the person that's being talked about by the witnesses, what prejudice is it for a witness to say, I recognize the person?
Oh my gosh. So the defense,
Respectfully, Judge, we don't have to demonstrate any prejudice. You only get to prejudice in 403 when probative evidence.
I want to
probative
yell at this
value
woman.
evidence
Did you not cry yesterday over footage?
Needs to be weighed against.
So they're basically
The
trying to
argument is
argue
it
that these
is
people
not
shouldn't be
probative of any material
allowed to
fact. It's simply
identify
not relevant.
him.
So it doesn't matter whether it's prejudicial. It isn't relevant and therefore it's inadmissible. He offered to
This
plead
is why
guilty
that
before
public
any
defender
evidence
wanted
was
off
even
this case.
provided to us or given or publicized. He pled guilty. We told the jury, and in fact, any juror who expressed reservations about the death penalty based on the
Now
fact that
wait,
there have
guys.
been innocent people executed or innocent
They just
people
catch
imprisoned
the
on
media
death
that
row
the
for
media
many years
leaked. The
before
judge is
being
about to
exonerated.
realize it.
We told them, you don't have to worry about that in this case. He is the one who did it. We have never said he is not the one. And in fact, when he pled, we withdrew all of our motions to suppress identifications because it is no longer an issue. So the evidence is simply not relevant.
Okay, I understand your argument.
The
but
chat
let's
was
assume,
hilarious. They were
for the
like,
sake of
what are you
this,
talking about?
Discussion, that it is relevant. What is the prejudice?
Well, Judge, if it were relevant, then I suppose it wouldn't necessarily be prejudicial, but it's not.
She's getting some
So it should
attitude
not
with the
be.
judge.
Based on the fact, if the state was having one witness after another identify the defendant, in other words, every single witness, I may understand your point, but as far as making sure that the jury knows that the defendant is in fact the person that these witnesses are talking about, and to put the situation in context to have, I don't know, how many witnesses have identified, maybe 5?
Not even
4?
5, 3, I think.
3 out of 44 witnesses.
Oh, I
so
can't wait
far.
till you guys see when she realizes the
For
media
those
leaked
reasons, I'm going to allow it on a limited basis.
that one of the jurors was a teacher.
Judge, I would ask if the witness that they intend to have identify him is Ms. Zucchini, I would ask for a moment because I think, is that him? Because I think we filed a motion to suppress, which we withdrew when he fled because it's not relevant.
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
I think we may have initially filed, prior to the plea, a motion to suppress her identification on.
The judge is like, what are you
We
talking
withdrew that
about?
motion when he fled because identity is no longer an issue. If they intend to have her come in, we may have that objection also, and I see a moment to check that.
Okay,
She's not expected to testify until this afternoon.
Are you kidding me right now?
Then
so we
that's
can sort
fine.
of pause this part of the
Yes,
argument or defer,
Yes, it's
spin
fine.
in it, whatever you want to call it.
Sure. If she's not testifying this morning, then we can look at that.
Oh, we don't want poor little
Okay,
Nicholas
thank
to
you.
be
Sure. Is
identified.
there anything else?
He is Delaney,
before
yup.
we bring the jury in?
And every one of
Nothing
these
to say
kids
about
has to look at him for the first time since the shooting.
Sorry, we're fine, thank you.
All right, sure.
Judge, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I was advised that yesterday, local Channel 10 has now identified the jurors by name. They have also identified who is the alternate and who
Oh.
is the actual seated juror to deliberate.
Oh,
They have now released all.
the judge
details
gets
about
hot mad.
each juror, so I don't know if the court would like to just go on Channel 10 or look at it. We've also printed it for the court's review. This is precisely one of the reasons why we wanted the jurors to be referred to as members. So,
Delaney,
This
I
was an article, I'm sorry, this was on the.
agree. I said I'm waiting for one of these fathers to
And
just
it
become
literally
unglued.
sets up the photo from the website, literally sets up the jury. and the way
Oh,
they sit
no.
here, numbers.
Look at
and
how
the juror
she is
and then you can punch that juror, and you get all the information about. the
Sorry,
juror.
guys. I'm
So
just
I
laughing
wanted
because
to
of
let
how
you
mad
know
she
they're
is.
fully aware of that.
Her jaw is
Where's
clenched.
Mr. Pepitone? Is he here?
Oh, man. This is so embarrassing.
Ms. Vasquez, you're here from Channel 10?
I'm here, but You want to stand up and walk over?
You can just speak from where you're sitting. The agreement was from the media that they were not going to do that.
I agree with you, and this is news to me that we have jurors' names quote on the website. I know you're referring, Ms. McNeil, to a local10.com script, but I am not a local10.com writer or publisher, so I just.
Yeah, tattoos, I know.
WhatsApp chat group.
I can't stop laughing. I don't know.
If you
I'm
just-
so mad.
Please relay this message. Take it
Yeah,
down now,
rebellious.
or you all are gonna lose your press pass, okay?
Judge, listen, I need to stand corrected. It just identifies the juror number, it doesn't identify the juror name.
Well, she still lines them up in the picture.
Who that individual is in their employment. I can make a copy of.
And
this
that she's a
review
teacher.
that you mistakenly said that it identified the juror by name. It just does identify the location of the juror in the box, that they're either a seated juror to deliberate or an alternate, and then personal information about the juror.
Is it accurate?
I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'd have to compare it.
She
to my
doesn't even
notes.
know if it's freaking
And
accurate.
the
Oh
jury
my-
questionnaires, if you'd like me to do that at lunch, I'd be happy to do that.
I mean, technically, if it doesn't say their name, that they're technically not in violation of any agreement.
I just want to bring it to the court's attention.
I would say that's definitely not within the spirit of the agreement, but.
Respectfully, Your Honor, what would you like me to convey?
I know, Delaney, I know.
The digital team at local 10 at this point, because it sounds like the record was clear that the jurors are not.
So everyone in
If the
chat,
names are
including
not
myself,
listed,
was
then
like,
you all
just take
do
the
anything
video
that is
down,
in
dummy,
violation.
or the
Technically,
article
you can
down.
say you don't have to do anything. But thank you.
Oh, she is mad.
One more thing, and it doesn't have to do with what's happening right now, but it's cold in the courtroom. I'm not complaining, but a lot of the jurors are wearing sweaters, and when they leave
Delaney,
the courtroom,
tattoos.
there
When I first saw this judge, I said the same exact thing as you, though. I was like, okay,
So
most
it really
judges
does
aren't
remind
that.
jurors that when they leave,
Yeah, I know
the door
tattoos.
button should be visible on the outside.
When when we recess for lunch.
Thank you.
Sure.
You know.
Okay, is there anything else?
Yeah, no, the defense is ready to proceed.
Great, let's bring the jury in, please.
Oh, I'm just playing this until this is this morning. Yeah, this is this morning, and it's almost about to resume, so I'm just playing this until it resumes. Pamela, did you watch this morning where the judge got hot mad because the media leaked? I mean, she just leaked that the woman was a teacher.
Everybody gets in here or no?
The defense could have a field day with that. So defense is not arguing it too much because they're saying, what is this little thing I got going on over here? They're saying that because he's already pled guilty, it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, technically, they said that they didn't do. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, about the names. It said technically, since the name wasn't officially released, however, they did set up the like a picture of the jurors, and then that one was a teacher, and so the judge is saying, well, yeah, you didn't technically because you didn't list their name. Technically, you don't have to do anything, she said, but this isn't kind of what we agreed upon. And the woman sitting there like getting called out, and all you got to do is take the article. Oh my gosh, Pamela, we were I couldn't stop laughing because her jaw was clenched and Tattoo was like, you know, Jeep girl, I think if they pull any more of this crap, they will. She said, if you do this again, you're losing your media pass.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a
She
nice
was, like,
afternoon,
jaw
great
clenched.
afternoon yesterday. Thank you
Oh
all
my
again
gosh,
for being here
tattoos.
and for your patience with us.
Brittany has a friend that is,
Members of the jury, before I forget,
I think
know
she's
it's
on the
cold in
Kristen
here.
Smart.
Unfortunately,
She is, Pamela. She's really pretty. I've not
One
seen a
room
judge
is
this
brand,
pretty. That
Parkland
sounds horrible,
has
but
not been worked out yet, and it seems that it either has been freezing or hot. We are aware of that. I know.
I
many
do know the
brought
prosecution
sweaters and jackets, and that's
wants
perfectly
another
fine.
headset, and I
I would just
believe
ask that if you wear
technically,
those
I
sweaters and
think it's, and this
jackets
is my
when
opinion,
you're on a recess,
they want
in
to
other
make
words,
him
when
have
you
to
go
listen
lunch,
to it.
if you would make sure that your juror badge is visible. You
He's
don't
not
have to
listened
listen
or
here, we all know
watched
who you are,
anything
and you
of
don't
this
have to do it
trial.
when you're
He's,
just in the back hall.
Delaney, I'm not sure if you've
Only when
watched
you're
this. He's
walking
coward.
next to
Hey,
your
Angela's
car
clips. He's
to go to
coward out of
run away
watching
seat.
and
make sure the badge is visible, okay?
basically
Thank you so much.
hearing anything.
Both sides.
Delaney, he even covered his ears like this the other day.
Call your next witness.
Thank you. Captain Nicholas
Let me go back
Mazen.
to, should be resuming soon, y'all.
Good morning, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You can go ahead and be seated, and when you're seated, please state your full name and spell your last name for the record.
Nicholas Mazzi, M-A-Z-Z-E-I.
And your occupation, sir?
I am a police officer with the City of Coral Springs Police Department.
And do you
Oh,
have a
this is
rank
good
at the present
testimony
time?
too.
I am
Oh, I
currently
know
a
unpopular
captain.
opinion.
Okay.
He's changed his
And
demeanor
how
so
long
many
have you been a
times.
police
He's
officer?
so manipulative.
21 years.
Yes.
I'd like to call your
Delaney, his
attention
brother's about the only
to
one he's
Wednesday,
shown
February
any
the 14th, 2018.
remorse to. Tattoos.
Did you have an occasion to respond to a location?
Yes, I did.
Tattoos
where
is
did you
cracking me
respond
up
to?
because
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
when I was
And where
watching
did
this
you respond?
live,
The City of
people
Coral
were
Springs
saying the
Police
same
Department.
thing.
And where is that?
People were getting
with
timed
reference
out for
to
inappropriate
Marjorie Stoneman
comments.
Douglas High School.
The exact mileage I do not know, but it is down Coral Springs Drive, a few miles away.
Okay, just a few miles?
Correct.
Okay, and did you approach a certain building?
I did.
And which building did you approach?
I approached from the west side of the 1200 building.
Okay. I'd like to, when you approached the building, did you observe anything?
I did.
What did you observe?
I observed officers were on scene already, and then as we moved closer to the building,
Hey, Christiane.
I observed a body lying on the ground outside of the west doors.
Okay. Let me show you my
Tattoos.
State's Exhibit 5F and State's Exhibit.
I'm gonna have to start deleting tattoos and Delaney. Just kidding.
And look at it, please. You recognize those exhibits?
I do.
Okay. And are they one and the same individual?
Yes, they are.
And does State's Exhibit, excuse me for a second.
No worries.
State's Exhibit 7B, is that accurately depicted?
He is really good looking. I'm not like totally.
Stairwell.
Yeah.
door
Yes, it does.
As it existed on February the 14th, 2018.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to offer 7B.
Yes, I will say the police went right in.
I thought you said 73, so it's
I think
70.
the other exhibit,
I heard 5F and,
yeah, this is 5F. I want to introduce 5F. And I can't read,
that's our fault.
this is 7B.
5F and 7E. Is there any?
The judge and
The
judge and him are gonna be meeting up later. She's asked for a sidebar.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Secor?
Ma'am.
Do you have an objection?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You know what's awful you are? Yeah, tattoos, that's what that's what people are saying is like, how are these parents staying so composed, or even these children who this is their first time seeing them. I will say that I'm reading now. This is the first death penalty trial that this judge has overseen, or one with much publicity. She was literally just chosen at random. Oh yeah, shenanigans with Leanne and Christy at Christy. And yes, we are definitely saying that the cop is good looking, and also the judge, if you haven't seen her when she goes close up, is really gorgeous. And so when this trial needs to get going. When I was watching it live this morning on Law and Crime, people were being timed out left and right because they were making really inappropriate comments to about the judge, which is just kind of funny. Yeah, all the women in here are meeting up with him later. So this is what they do here. The only reason it's silent is because they're listening to some audio of which the judge at the very beginning obviously said she was not going to um allow the public to hear that stuff. The delay is insane though with this, like I don't understand how they always come back to court
Objection, states
late.
Exhibit 5F for identification will be received as states 104, and states 7B as in boy for identification will be received as states 105.
They're 15 minutes late. You guys are killing me laughing, so this is great. I like actually kind of this commentary of just laughing about it a little bit, y'all, because it's such a heavy case. Tattoos, the audio is of the actual basically kids, the actual scene of it all. Kind of like we saw in Uvalde, except you can hear the children. If I remember correctly, he's the cop that had kind of a really hard time. He gets choked up here eventually, so he's also sensitive.
Captain Mazzy, I'm going to show you now, States Exhibit 105 that has been introduced, and ask you if you can see that.
Yes, I can.
Okay. And is that,
Sandy.
do you know who that is?
I do.
Who is that?
That is Aaron Weiss.
Okay. And is that the way you saw him when you approached the western portion of the 1200 building?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And showing you State's Exhibit 104.
Last night,
Who was that?
unpopular
That is
opinion,
Aaron
cried
Weiss.
my head off. Delaney, me too. Well, I watched it all, but in portions.
So once you saw Mr. Feist, what did you do?
I checked him for vitals, realized that he was deceased, believed that there was still a shooter inside the building, and we made entry into the building.
Okay. And how did you get into the building?
We went through the western doors.
Okay. Let me show you State's Exhibit 100. It's already been introduced.
You all are terrible.
State's Exhibit 24E.
Jeep girl, no. So I want to pause this for a second,
State's Exhibit 24E.
just really quick. We'll get back to Captain. Okay, I'm just going to talk.
I do.
over it.
Okay. And how do you recognize it?
If you guys weren't
This is
here
a photograph
earlier,
of me making contact with the victim right inside the west doors. And this is a photograph of that same victim.
hold on.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to offer 24E.
What's happening?
I'm talking about, please? Yes, sir.
Okay, they're going back to audio. So hold on one second. Yeah, it's really, really hard to watch. If you guys weren't here earlier to see Jeep Girl, her family um, survived not just one, but two school shootings. Not even kidding you. Um, two different daughters, two different school shootings. It's insane to me right now. I don't know how they have. Luckily, Jeep Girl said they were late the day that the one happened, and I just don't. That's just crazy to me. Yeah, I know, Jenny. I don't blame you. I mean, Jeep Girl says the kids are doing well, the girls are doing well, but um, two different school shootings. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. All right, they're back. So let's go get live action now. Right now, she'll be coming in here in just a second because they're about to start up again. There's no sound yet, just because they haven't. She's not in or anything yet. Gosh, tattoos, that's nuts. I agree, in popular opinion, it was actually very horrible because you realize at the end it's not just a movie and you've become attached to these kids that are actually really in real life past. All right, I'm going to show you, Christiane, while we're waiting for the judge to come on. Oh, thanks, Emily. All right, you ready, Christiane? This one's for you. We're still waiting for it anyways, so.
You don't have to demonstrate any prejudice. You only get to prejudice in 403 when probative evidence, the probative value of evidence needs to be weighed against its prejudice. The argument is it is not probative of any material fact. It's simply not relevant. So
We don't need to listen to her again.
then
We
that's
can sort
fine.
of pause this.
Okay, here's where the judge gets mad,
Are you
Christiane.
aware of that?
Where's
And
Mr. Pepitone? Is he here?
Thanks,
Ms.
Sandy.
Vasquez, you're here from Channel 10?
I'm here, but if you want to stand up and walk over.
You can just speak from where you're sitting. The
So,
agreement was
Christiane, this
from the
is
media that
where
they were not allowed
the judge realizes
I review and.
the media leaked something.
That we have jurors' names quote on the website. I know you were referring this email to a local10.com script, but I am not a local10.com writer or publisher. So I just flagged it for my station on a WhatsApp chat group, so somebody can look into it.
They
I
need
have
to,
no-
please relay this message. Take it down now or or you all are gonna lose your press pass, okay?
Good. Please, I need to stand corrected. It just identifies the juror number.
I
It
know,
doesn't
Christiane.
identify the juror name. But it does include the description of who that individual is in their employment. I can make a copy of this so you can view it, but I mistakenly said that it identified the juror by name. It just does identify the location of the juror in the box, that they're either a seated juror to deliberate or an alternate, and then information.
She's
personal information about
46. She doesn't look
it accurate?
46.
I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'd have to compare it to our notes, and the jury questionnaires. If you'd like me to do that at lunch, I'd be happy to do that.
I mean, technically, if it doesn't say their name, that they're technically not involved.
Her father was George Bush's lawyer. One of them.
I just wanted to bring it to the court's attention.
I would say that's
The lady.
definitely not within the spirit of the agreement, but.
More respectfully, Your Honor, what would you like me to convey?
She went to Florida State University
It sounds like
and law school at University of Miami.
If the jurors' names are not listed, then you all didn't.
Her first
do
marriage
anything
was
that
to a
in
police
violation
detective.
technically of the
She's
agreement, so you don't
divorced
have
from
to do
him.
anything. But thank you.
Your Honor, one more thing, and it doesn't have to do with what's happening right now, but it's cold in the courtroom. I'm not complaining, but a lot of the jurors are wearing sweaters, and when they leave the courtroom, their buttons, juror buttons, badges should be visible to all. So if you could just remind the jurors that when they leave, that their juror button should be visible on the outside of their clothing.
When we recess for lunch.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, the defense is ready to proceed.
I know, Christiane. Oh, shoot, I forgot about the trial. Nope, still not there anyways. So yeah, she's pretty gorgeous. So here's some fun facts on the, while we wait for a second, on the what did they do on the judge? So it would seem that she was married to a police detective. That ended because it said let me see what it said. Oh, she declined to rescue herself. It ended in divorce and it became an issue in 2016 when she declined to rescue herself from a case that was investigated by his department. An appeals court removed her, and she no longer handles cases or warrants from the Hollywood Police Department. Then it says that Early in the Parkland case, defenders sought Judge Scherer's removal after she sent prosecutors a memo about the defenders' attempts to visit Mr. Cruz in jail. Another judge deemed the memo confidential. So it does say, like, she ruled with the prosecution in other important matters, including allowing a possible jury walkthrough of the school building, which we do know now is taking place. And it says in 2018, she made headlines because she berated reporters from the South Florida Sentinel for publishing information about Mr. Cruz's therapeutic history. She threatened to restrict future news reports. Wow. And there's a couple other things that say judge is annoyed at Nicholas Cruz's attorney's objection. Oh, I was checking if she's married. Okay. Is Judge Elizabeth? How about that cop too? It's so funny. I just typed in is Judge Elizabeth and her name popped up. So it must be I'm not the only one that's she married Anthony. Oh, whoa. Okay, here's some fun facts about her. Is this trial started yet? No. It might be on a sidebar. We might just be out for the afternoon. So it said man, she's even prettier outside of the robe. She Why does it hold on? Okay. Ooh, Gold Star Mom, drop it. Drop the link. It says she is 46 years old. Her sun sign is Gemini because she's June 4th. We know her dad already. She was an English degree and then law degree. Holy heck, the whole family's good looking. I don't care about her necessarily. Okay, she was married to Anthony Mercer, but she divorced him due to drug allegations against him. Moreover, she has a daughter. There is no information outside or no information regarding other partners and personal information. There you go. She's available, we think. Dang, her net worth is a lot. And she's wealthy. Dang, her husband is a suspected drug dealer. Like, legit drug dealer. There's a whole bunch of articles on it. Woo! That's like some of that movie stuff you have. Yeah, you could tell she's got some lip plumpers happening there. I think they might be at like a meeting. I'm having a feeling this might be a long time before we start up again, so let's see what's going on. Okay. So unfortunately, guys, it looks like they're going to be sidebarring for a while, so we will have to forego watching this together today because it says they don't even know if they're going to come back now. Jeep Girl, the judge, her first husband, her only husband, apparently is a police detective, but has multiple allegations of drug dealing against him. So that's a thing. And so I will say that people are getting super upset with the amount of breaks that they take. So you have to remember too, we've heard from the prosecution. We have not heard yet the defense's let's see, the defense's witnesses or any type of what did it say? We haven't heard from the defense at all. And then everyone says we have that there will be victim impact panel, which will probably be, I would assume, parents of those that have lost children. And that will be absolutely brutal. It says right now the prosecutor's witnesses aren't there yet, so. So it says that some people, like, even if he gets the death penalty, it'll be a really long time. Everybody's saying that he should get the chair, but I don't think that Gold Star Mom's brother. They don't do the electric chair anymore, do they? I'm just curious. If anybody knows. So they said that it might be kind of like a little bit of a Gold Star Mom. What's going to make it hairy is that every one of the jurors has to agree on the death penalty, obviously to go forward. Oh my gosh, Rebellious, and this is Florida. So as of 2021, the electric chair could be an option for him. Dang. Did you guys hear when we first covered this, how his apology where he said he like randomly started apologizing and then said, and I think if the world would stop smoking marijuana. I can't even say it because it was just so random in the middle of it. If the world, excuse me, would stop smoking marijuana, it would be a better place. But yeah, they're claiming that the judge is getting annoyed because the defense is objecting to every witness and everything that is said. Oh my gosh. If you also remember too, Nicholas Cruz assaulted a guard like a year ago. All right, y'all. Well, I guess they're not going to come back right away, so. Have you guys heard of the who said what? Oh, Pamela. Have you guys heard of the Sarah Boone case? I just discovered it last night, like the full case, and read it, and we are definitely going to talk about that, if not this weekend, Monday, because not during our community sale. That is insane case. She zipped her boyfriend up in a suitcase and he died. Who has heard of that case? but like the interrogation and the interviews of where she said that they were playing hide and go seek is insanity. Yes, yes, that's Monday. That's Monday evening at 8. Yep. Um he said they were playing hide and go seek and that she forgot about him, I guess, and thought, "Are you, Latera? Well, hey, welcome for one thing, and that's awesome." So the community sale is for anybody. That's Monday. And that's Monday at 8. And so some people, I decided to open it up because some people are like, well, I have some things to sell, but I don't make things. So if you, yes, I know. That's what she, yeah, I know, Christiane. She is Emily. If you don't make something, that's okay too. If you have a lot of things you want to sell, jewelry or whatever, if you have things, that you want to get rid of, you can come up and sell them, or you can, like, as far as if you make products but you don't have, like, you don't want to come up on panel, or you don't really have things that like you can show, you just case, yeah, no, Pamela, I'll do that. Just give me your Etsy stuff and I'll try to sell it for you. But if you have like things, around the house, you want to sell jewelry, come on up. So we're just going to kind of open it up. The only thing I ask is that you guys take, obviously you're responsible for your payments or whatever and working out the. So we did it on Natasha's channel and that was cool. So I'm hoping that it's going to be, I really liked when she did that, and I think that'll be fun in a way to support people. So she played, yeah, so they played, she had a bottle of wine, they played hide and seek, and she forgot them in the suitcase. She assumed, yeah, I think Brittany's going to help me co-host it too, and I was doing some slots. Yeah, absolutely, Gold Star Mom, and we'll take a look at your stuff. Oh my God, tattoos. Yes, tattoos. We can do a fireman auction. Well, Delaney, yeah, I thought so too, because I think everybody's struggling a little bit right now with the inflation. I thought, heck, we've all got stuff laying around, and um, you know, uh, it just is a good way for people to maybe make a little bit extra, and maybe be a way for you guys not to feel like creators are always asking for money and we're supporting each other. Um, so I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. Oh my goodness. So I forgot, guys. Rena's live is happening right now. I want to get off for that. This is her. I want to go over for that. This is her son's birthday. If you don't remember, her son passed away last year from a car accident, and so today is his birthday. So if you could go over and support her, just at least let her know you're praying for her. This will be a really hard live for her because I believe it's his first birthday past. So, I forgot it was at 2 and it's 2:10, so it's actually perfect timing. Hey, Latera, yeah, come back for that. We'll start the suitcase case, and I would love to have your opinion on it and whatnot. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna hop over there because I totally forgot the time, and I will see some of you there. And if you can't, totally understand. Just try to say a prayer for her today if you could. Thanks, guys.